18 Weirdest Cell Phones. Thank you, Jennifer Salas Sanchez, for leaving us this comment on our Creepiest Playgrounds video. Our channel now posts one new video 7 days a week, thanks to great fans like yourself. Number 18. The Nokia 7280. Cell phones have came a long way throughout the years with technological advancements. This Nokia 7280 reminds us of our humble beginnings when cell phones first became popular for widespread use. This was released in 2004 as a part of a Finnish fashion company's phone line. It even made an appearance in the Pussycat Dolls video called Beep. Number 17. The Samsung Juke. Designing the next hot phone was on the mind of many companies, but it took a long period of trial and error in order to get us where we are now. The Samsung Juke that came out in 2007 seemed like a pretty good design at the time. The main focus was on the audio, but many found it to be difficult to use, and most would have just preferred the MP3 separate from the phone. The display is tiny and the resolution was just unbearable. Number 16. The first camera phone. The Nokia 7650 might seem strange now, but at the time it was state-of-the-art technology. The idea of getting a camera on a phone at the time was revolutionary, and people couldn't wait to get their hands on it when it came out in 2002. The slide design proved to be popular within the next decade. Nowadays, it's really more of a collector's item if anything. A great phone at the time nonetheless. Number 15. The Nokia Serve. Not only is the shape completely different from your conventional phone, the Nokia Serve 1 was actually unscratchable. This was actually considered to be a concept design in 2008. It still proves to have some similarities to our modern-day smartphone. It features a touchscreen and is also waterproof and shockproof. At this time, even a flashlight was considered to be somewhat revolutionary. Boy, we came a long way. Number 14. The Pen Phone. Nowadays, we can probably imagine a pen being more useful than this phone. Named for its shape, not its function, the Pen Phone was designed by Yere in 2005, and it had many people talking about it. It used a small joystick for navigation, and it received much praise for its cool design. Number 13. The Nokia Ngage. Many of you might remember having one of these when you were growing up. These Ngages were fairly popular, and the first of its kind dedicated to gaming. It had quite a few big game names like Tomb Raider, Zelda, but it still turned out to be a failure because it sold only a third of Nokia's expectations. Despite the games being somewhat amusing, the machine was slow, the design was bulky. The last game was launched in 2006, and Nokia discontinued the production. Nokia did their best, and the concept of having a Game Boy/cell phone hybrid was a great idea nonetheless. Number 12. The Golden Buddha Phone. What country do you think would design a Golden Buddha phone? If you guessed China, good job. This is almost more like a piece of jewelry than a cell phone. Modeled after a portable mirror, the phone sported 2 pieces of jade, 24-karat gold paint, and pearl powder. It was also the most expensive phone in China at the time. It even offers you a virtual prayer room where users can pray to Buddha. Let's see your smartphone do that. Number 11. Samsung Serene. Possibly one of the weirdest phones Samsung has designed. It consisted of 2 halves and a large aluminum hinge. The design is intriguing to say the least, and it seems to be more confusing each time you look at it. There were some serious design flaws, as you can imagine, and it never really became popular. The hinges made it difficult to take photos, and a special screwdriver is needed in order to access the battery. Number 10. The C99 Star Phone. This strange cell phone design was actually a pretty interesting piece of phone technology. It never really became too popular though, and people were just too conservative to use a star-shaped phone. There's even a glass bead starfish on the back. Might be a good phone to let your kids start off with. Worst case possible, you can always use it as a ninja star. Number 9. The Nokia Teardrop. What was Nokia thinking here, and what's with all these strange shapes? Can't cell phones just remain as a square like they started off as? This teardrop-shaped phone was the company's second handset and released in 2003. Imagine trying to text on something like this. Yikes. Number 8. The Yotaphone. One screen not enough for you? How would you feel about having a dual screen on the back of the smartphone? The Yotaphone was one of the most innovative phones that came onto the scene in 2014. The e-ink screen uses a lot less electricity and won't harm your eyesight as much. What do you think about this revolutionary design? Number 7. Nokia 888. This weird cell phone has the ability to take any form you choose. You don't have to carry it in your pocket. You can simply wrap it around your wrist. It can even bend on its own, almost like an animal with its own mind. It's only 5mm thick and features a liquid battery. Would you want to own one of these? Number 6. Elson TWC1150. This phone almost looks like some type of hairdryer more than a cell phone, and it seems way too bulky to keep in your pocket. Could this possibly be the worst phone of all time? The designers possibly thought it'd be cool to have a phone on your wrist, but this is almost like a prehistoric version of the Apple Watch. Number 5. The Rinsable smartphone. Designed in 2015, this oddly shaped cell phone takes the figure of a pocket watch. The designer, Aubrey Anderson from Berkeley, California, wanted to design something quiet and relaxing, so we're not glued to our cell phone at all hours of the day. But he also wanted to feature the ability to go online when needed. They claim that just holding it in your hand is a relaxable experience, and it's a wearable form of technology. You can make phone calls with the Rinsable, but only with a Bluetooth device. The device is powerful and upgradable, designed with real hardwood. It's supposed to enhance your life, rather than interrupt it. It's meant to last for a long period of time, and meant to help you get by on the minimum amount of technology needed. Number 4. The Atlas Kinetic Phone. The Atlas Kinetic Phone was a concept model that focused on green technology, but without making any sacrifices in technology. Despite the good intentions, it really doesn't appear to have what consumers are looking for in a modern phone. Released in 2008, the power comes from kinetic energy. This is similar to what we find in watches using weights to power a spring. It's also made of recyclable glass and aluminum. You would never have to worry about the battery dying. All you have to do is turn it upside down a couple of times and reload the springs. An intriguing idea nonetheless. Number 3. The Kyocera Phone. Now here's a green phone you might actually see yourself using. People's phones dying seems to be like a minor crisis nowadays, and some manufacturers are searching the best way to fix this. This Kyocera phone, designed in Japan, uses solar panels to recharge the battery. It only needs a miraculous 3 minutes of time in the sunlight for every 1 minute of talk time. With partnership of the French firm SunPartner, who designed the solar panels, the two companies hope this will be the next big thing in keeping your phone charged. It still needs an electrical charge, but with the extra help from the sunlight, it could keep your battery going a lot longer than usual. Number 2. The Yere Battery. British scientists claim they found a new way to power your cell phone in case of an emergency. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. They've apparently came up with a way to transform urine into electricity by what's known as microbial fuel. Just a half liter of urine could be enough to charge your phone and keep it in use for 6 hours of time. This resource seems to never go out of supply, and it's about as green as it gets, or yellow in any case. We're not too sure how people would feel about using this. Could this prototype John generate electricity for generations to come? Number 1. The Motorola DynaTAC 8000X. Just to remind you how far we've come in the past 30 years, here's a photo of the vintage 80s brick phone that was the first cell phone available for purchase in 1983. The very first one cost a customer $3,995 at the time. That's about the modern equivalent of $10,000. Not only was it outrageously expensive, but weighed nearly 2 pounds. It also took up to 10 hours to fully charge. You'd be lucky if you got an hour of talk time out of that. It measured 10 inches long, not including the large antenna. It was given the name the brick phone due to its size and weight, and it really needed a briefcase or a backpack to be transported. We've come a long way. Any suggestions on future videos? Leave us your idea in the comments section, and maybe we'll feature it in an upcoming video.